Well, the Winter Games this year, which has just finished 2 days ago, it was the most successful games, the Winter Games Australia's ever had. And, you know, not just with the number of participants, but the number of medals that we won was quite incredible for Australia. I think it's a real milestone for Australia. And just watching the training develop over the years and the disciplines that have really interested Australians, like, you know, especially in the snowboarding area and the freestyle area, and all of those areas that sort of crossed over a little bit with our surfing culture have really made a huge difference. And the training that has been provided, especially for our local athletes through sport and recreation, and the amount of infrastructure and the training expertise that they've put into that facility is definitely paying dividends in a bag of gold medals, which is fantastic for Australia. Not only gold, there's silver and bronze as well, but, you know, just a bag of medals, which is fantastic for a result for Australia in a games that is really not a games that the world looks at for Australia. They look at us as swimmers and runners and more of a summer sporting country, but Australians are sports crazy, and as soon as they saw that there was disciplines that really suited our psyche and our ability, and now the proof's in the pudding. Like, our team did incredibly well. Well, sport and recreation started as a skiing program, basically for school kids from around New South Wales, coming to the mountains and learning how to ski. And it was a fantastic program. There was about 30,000 students a season that would come in, and they would stay at the sport and recreation camp. They had their lifting lessons, and by the end of their ski week, they learnt the basic skills of skiing. And that's how sport and rec developed. It developed as a school-based program, and now it's grown into an Olympic training facility. You know, so it's gone from a student-based system to a major training facility. So whoever okayed that in the early days and said, okay, we're going to have this land in Jindabyne, and it's a large area, and we're going to develop a sport and recreation, winter sport recreation program for Australia. That vision is fantastic, because that's now grown into a world-class facility. Well, to be an Olympian, you have to work extremely hard. You know, whether you're an Olympian and you didn't, finish at the highest level or win a medal, that really doesn't matter. To be an Olympian is something really special. Like, you've worked incredibly hard, and just to make the grade. So, you know, congratulations to any of our athletes or Olympians over the years, going way back to, you know, one of our closest friends in Thredbo, in Frank Pahota, who he competed in Cortina d'Ampezzo in 1956. He was a refugee from Czechoslovakia that basically walked out of Czechoslovakia, made his way across into Austria, and then caught a boat to Australia and ended up in Melbourne, went to Mount Buller. He had some basic skiing skills. He developed those, and he represented us in 1956. So it's a great Australian story, like from a refugee to an Olympian. I think it's a beautiful thing. And Frank was our oldest living Olympian up until 2 years ago. Frank lived to 103, and there's a portrait of Frank right behind me. I'm sitting in the Frank Pahota Stubel at Wild Brumby, and Frank was a great friend and a great supporter of winter sport in Australia. I think they're incredibly excited. Like it's just fantastic that there's so many young locals that have done so well in the Olympics, and their parents are not only sport and recreation and the support in the program. It's the parental support that has been the main thing. You know, like look at Josie Baff. Like her parents have been involved in snow sports in Australia for many years, and you know Pete and Katrina have worked in ski schools, and Pete was a ski instructor in the early days and then became a snowboard instructor, and his love of snowboarding transferred into Josie's love of snowboarding, and their support has been incredible. So it's gone from just an activity to actually a family cultural experience, and it's been passed into the next generation, and that next generation are performing really well. You know, so that's one example of something that is a fantastic story for the Baff family. Well, I think it's only going to it's only going to get bigger from here on in. Like the facilities are there now, the support programs are there, the pathways are there for the Australian skiers. The more medals we win, the more government support it gets, and you know the whole. I think this is only the beginning. Like we can do even bigger and better things in France in 4 years' time, and it's an exciting time for Australia. It's also an exciting time for the Snowy Mountains and skiing in general in Australia, because all Australians get motivated by the Winter Olympics, and we're looking forward to a really good winter season with a lot of snow and a lot of people visiting the Snowy Mountains. So it's up to you. You're the next skiers and snowboarders coming through, and yeah, we want to let's get started.